Hello and welcome to another video brought to you by KeepsakeCrafts.net. Today we're going to be making a different kind of jewelry. This is jewelry for your table. These napkin rings are gorgeous. They'd make a great hostess gift or something special for your next dinner party. And all you need are some beads and some wire. So to make each napkin ring you will need a 25-inch piece of 16-gauge wire. You'll need about 30 beads. These are 5mm bicons, but use whatever you have. Use an assortment. I just decided I like this look. And you'll also need some finer wire. This is 26-gauge wire, and we'll work with this right off the spool. For tools, you'll need chain nose pliers, wire cutters. For doing the hammering of the coils, you'll need some kind of a bench block. This is a mini jeweler's anvil. And a hammer. One with a rounded end and one with a flat end is good. And then also it's helpful to have just something about an inch around. A dowel would be fine, but something to wrap the napkin ring around to shape it. So the first thing we're going to do is start by making one of the coils. Now this 16-gauge wire is stiff, so I'm not even going to mess with round nose pliers. I'm just going to give this a good grip in my chain nose pliers, and I'm actually using my bigger ones, and just start to form a loop. And like I said, this stuff is stiff, so it'll take a little bit of work to get yourself a loop made. And then go ahead and start coiling it around. And I'm just gripping it with my chain nose pliers. And you got to hold on firmly. Like I said, this stuff is very stiff. And you want to coil it around till you have about 3 or 4 coils. Oop, see what I mean? You really got to hold on. It's not as easy as some other wire is to manipulate with your fingers. So maybe just a couple more times around. Oh, maybe a little bit more than that. Okay. That's good. I kind of like that. It's not perfectly round. That's kind of interesting. Now the next thing you'll need to do is thread all of your beads onto the wire. And the great thing about using this fine wire is that you can decorate that heavy gauge 16-gauge wire with beads of really any size, because most of them are going to be able to fit onto this very fine wire. So I'll be back once I've got these all strung onto my wire. Alright, so I've gone ahead and strung my 30 beads onto my 26-gauge wire, and now I'm ready to start wrapping around this larger piece of wire. So pull out, an inch or 2 of your finer wire and do a nice tight wrap right after the spiral that you made. And make about a 1/4 inch worth of wraps just to get everything started. Okay. So really the best way to do this is to hold the spool in your hand, have all the beads towards the end with a little bit of wire loose. And then that way as you're feeding it out, you're not having the other end of the wire wrapped down here, which is just a pain. So you just use your thumb, release a bead. Got too many here. And then you can wrap the wire, push down another bead, do a few wraps, and continue. I try to keep it random, so I'll change it up and maybe crisscross back over this one just to make it a little different. And if your wire kinks, that's alright. It should be fine enough. Unless you have really teeny tiny beads, it should be fine enough that the beads are still going to slide along it. So you can see it's a little difficult to show you all of this on camera just because this length of wire is somewhat unwieldy, but you get the idea. Just hold the spool in your hand and keep wrapping. And wrap all the way up until you get to within about 5 inches of the end, because we'll need that much to do our coil. So actually I'm almost there, so I might as well finish it up. Sorry, I keep going off camera on you. Like I said, it's a little unwieldy. So once you get your last bead on, and you can do more or less, you can do larger or smaller beads, but once you get the last one on, repeat how we started by doing a nice tight, about 1/4 inch of wraps. Cut off the excess wire, tuck in that end, and then we're going to do another coil, just like the one we started with, using our chain nose pliers because this stuff is so stiff. So I'll be back once I have that done. So here it is, all wrapped up, and you can scooch these along a little bit and adjust them later, but for now we won't worry about that. So we're going to use our form, and this is a 1-inch diameter bottle, which is good. This wire is so stiff it will spring out and be wider than 1 inch in diameter, so it'll be just about perfect for a napkin ring. Now we want our coils to be, our spirals to be pretty much on the same plane, like this one. And you just have to take a little time and manipulate what you've got. So I'm going to open this out a little bit wider and push that up. And I'd say that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. So then the final step is to get out your bench block or anvil, and I'm going to move this cushion out of the way because you want a stable surface, not a cushion. And start hammering these spirals. Use the flat part of your hammer. Now you've seen me hammer other wire, like 22 gauge wire, and it doesn't take much work at all. You have to work a little bit harder with the 16 gauge because, well, it's heavier. But it's not bad. Just keep working at it. Don't hit your thumb until you have it flattened out. And then when you have it flattened as much as you want, if you want to, get some nice hammer marks. Use the round part of your hammer. Now notice, as you're doing this, your spiral is going to spread out a bit. And you can always probably get those chain nose pliers again and tighten it up if you want to. But when you're done, you'll have something that looks like this. So I hope you've enjoyed making some jewelry for your table. Here's another look at our finished project. Something great to make for hostess gifts for any holiday, really. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out keepsakecrafts.net for more jewelry and crafting ideas and inspiration.